Hi, I'm Dee, and welcome to this session on mindfulness, during which I hope to show you the benefits of taking some time out for you. And I mean that quite literally, as simply, or in simple terms, mindfulness is our ability to pay attention to the present moment without judgment of self or on others. And in this world of pace, of challenge, much of which we've been hearing about in this conference, that ability really helps us reconnect with the simplicity of life and give us more enjoyment and a greater sense of peace. So what is mindfulness? Well, this is really just about the ability to focus your mind on the present moment without worrying about the past or the future. And we all do that. We all engage in worrying about what's already happened, about what's to come. So mindfulness doesn't mean that we disregard those. We do still need to reflect and process what's happened in our past. We need to plan for the future. But mindfulness gives us the ability to notice our thoughts as they arise, but not to buy into them and then escalate into muddled or judgmental thinking. So by doing that, mindfulness empowers us to take control of what we're feeling and then act on that feeling in a more constructive and purposeful way. And mindfulness is accessible. So I know so many people that relate mindfulness to meditation. And yes, meditation is a tool to help us develop mindfulness. But there are so many tools out there, so many activities, so many apps that give us a wealth of things that we can use to develop and find out what works best for us. And if you just think about your own mind on a typical day, maybe think about your mind now and what's going on within it. Is it a mind that's full of stuff as opposed to us being mindful? So if it's the former, if your mind is full of all these thoughts about what's gone wrong in the past, what's coming, what we haven't done, what we've done wrong, if we are then engaging in something that we should be enjoying, like walking the dog, if our mind is full of that stuff, we're not engaging in walking the dog. So we're not connecting with our dog. We're not enjoying that walk. We're not even noticing the lovely nature, the trees, the birds around us, because our mind is just full of all this other stuff. So wouldn't it be great just to be able to switch off from that, when we choose, and enjoy those things that we should be enjoying and have got every right to enjoy. And then actually what mindfulness does, it gives us those benefits of being able to go back to the pace, back to the challenges in a much more engaged and calm way, and gives us a greater ability to solve those problems. So the benefits, as I said, we enjoy life's pleasures instead of taking them for granted, and that includes each other. I guess we've all been in a conversation at some time with somebody that is either on Teams right in front of us, or Zoom, or even in the physical. No restrictions are being lifted, and we see the mouth moving and we hear sound, but we haven't heard them because our mind is elsewhere. So being mindful really helps give that mindful regard to those around us, to people in our life. And that gives them greater confidence and self-esteem being around us. It gives us the same. And there's a whole bunch of health benefits about being mindful. If we have got a calm mind, a calm body, our anxiety, our stress levels are reduced, we can process our emotions instead of being driven by them. And we get better sleep, we become more optimistic in life, and just generally calmer, more peaceful, and more engaged at the right time. And as I said, there are so many helpful sites, apps, exercises out there. And one very simple one, just to give you a feel for that now, is an exercise called the 5 senses exercise. And this is simply a reality check to make us realize how often we're not really using the senses that we have. And this just takes us through a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of what you can see, feel, hear, smell, and taste. And this is something you can check in and use at any time. And just taking that first one, 5 things that you can see. And by that, I mean really see. So for example, we might look out the window and we see a bird. When we've got a mind full of stuff, that's it. We don't see any further than that bird. But if we are mindful, We engage with seeing that bird. What colour is it? What type of bird is it? What size, what shape, and so on. So sometimes just working through our senses and using them can really shift us away from that mindful of the stuff into being mindful. Okay, and just to take us through now to the end of this session, we're just going to do a really simple guided calming meditation. And for this exercise, it's going to be about breathing in calmness and releasing stress and tension, which we all hold in our minds and throughout our bodies. So to do this exercise, I'd like you all to just think of a colour that for you represents calmness and peacefulness. Just take a moment now to think of that colour and just note that for you. And then similarly, a colour for you that represents that stuff in the mind, a colour that represents the stress, the anxieties, things that you want to get rid of. And so when I ask you to breathe in during this guided meditation, just focus on your colour of calmness, breathing that in through the nose. And when we breathe out through the mouth, you focus on your colour of stress. And remember, we all can meditate. We're not expecting that Zen-like state of the monk on the mountaintop, because there is a lot of activity around us. We're not on that mountaintop. You can meditate. We're not looking for your mind to be empty of thoughts. Thoughts are not our enemy. We're not trying to empty the mind of thoughts. We're just looking to develop the capacity to recognize the thoughts, recognize that they're happening, but not get lost in them or get taken over by the drama of escalated thinking. So if you all now just make yourselves comfortable, I'm assuming everybody's in a sitting position. So just sit in the position that works best for you. Keep spines erect, but not stiff or rigid. And just relax into your chairs in whatever position works best for you, and hands just in your laps in an effortless, easy way. And very importantly, just give yourselves permission, use your own intention to give yourself permission just to let go and just relax and just to be. Entirely up to you whether you close your eyes or keep them open. But just to start us off, just bring your focus to the areas where we all tend to hold tension in the jaw. So just soften that area with your own intention now. Sink into the shoulders. We all hold too much tension into the shoulders without even realizing it. So just soften your shoulders. And that starts to allow us to become present. And because we do all so easily get lost in our thoughts, this is where we can really use our breath to bring ourselves back home to calmness and peacefulness. So notice your breath now. Just notice the natural rhythm as the breath rises and falls in our chest and stomach areas. And remembering now our colour of calmness. Breathing in slowly through the nose, that colour of calmness. And remembering the colour for our stress, releasing that now through the mouth. Once again, breathing in slowly through the nose, that colour of calmness. And breathing out through the mouth. One more time, breathing in slowly through the nose, that colour of calmness. And releasing stress, tensions through the mouth. And now just allowing your breathing to return to normal. But just know that if the mind starts to race, if those thoughts turn into thinking, we can come back to the anchor of our breath to refocus. And we're now just going to extend that release of tension using a body scan technique. And again, really simple, really straightforward. Just bring your attention to your toes and feet and ankles. And either using the breath or your intention, just soften those areas. You can even say to yourself, I am relaxing my toes, my feet, and my ankles. I'm moving up the legs. Just notice any tingling, any sensations, any heaviness in the legs, and allow those areas to soften. Again, saying I'm relaxing my legs, my calves, my shins, my thighs, the back of my legs are relaxed. And now moving up to the hips and the back, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back. Again, just noticing any held tensions there. Giving that same permission to soften, to relax. And relaxing my hips and my back. My hips and my body are relaxed. Now to the shoulders. Just bring your intention and your attention to the shoulders. Soften them even more. I'm relaxing my shoulders. My shoulders are relaxed. And then to the neck, the face, and your head. Again, particular attention to the brow, to the eyes, to the jaw. Just noticing any remaining areas of tension. And letting that go. And relaxing my neck, my face, my jaw, my head. I am relaxed. And as we allow all of our body to be relaxed, if anything comes to our attention that needs softening or you can still feel held tension, just take your attention back to that area and allow it to soften, or use the breath to breathe out through that area to help release that tension. And if the mind begins to wander, don't worry, just call it back home with the breath. Now just check if there are any thoughts in your mind. And there probably will be. But imagine each one of those thoughts as bubbles, like soap bubbles, just floating past in front of you. And because we're giving ourselves permission to relax, to be calm, to be peaceful, those thoughts don't serve us right now. So as that bubble passes you by, just take your finger to each bubble and pop it. So as those thoughts come into the mind, allow them to float past in that bubble and just let that thought go by popping the bubble. Allow the thought to enter and to leave. So we're acknowledging the thoughts, but we're not allowing them to take us into thinking. And as our body relaxes, our mind relaxes, we become mindful, we become present, and we can start to feel calm and peaceful. And now start to bring your attention back to your surroundings, feeling the weight of your body in the chair, the air on your skin, focusing back on the sounds around you. Start to move fingers and toes. And if you've closed your eyes, a really lovely technique is to rub your hands together to create some warmth and pop those over your face and open your eyes in to that warmth and darkness. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes. And take a stretch. And very importantly, give yourself thanks for allowing yourself this time. So this was really just a short meditation. It's an introduction to mindfulness, but hopefully you've all got some benefit out of this session. You've allowed your bodies to relax, you've allowed your minds to calm, and it's giving you that incentive to go out there and look for more tools and techniques to continue this practice. It brings so much benefit, and you are all absolutely worth it. So thank you for joining me. Stay safe, stay happy. Namaste.